Hello friends, it's Mark Weekland. I'm here to read one of my books. It's a biography of a great American leader, Martin Luther King Jr., and the name of the book is When Martin Luther King Jr. Wore Roller Skates. When Martin Luther King Jr. was 8 years old, a woman in a department store lunged at him and slapped him. "You stepped on my foot," she yelled. Martin didn't know who the angry white woman was, but he stayed calm. Although he was shocked, he simply walked away. Martin was a child who learned to overcome difficulties without violence. Like his mother, he was gentle and caring. Like his father, Martin was determined and fearless. Martin drew on these traits as he grew to become a leader admired by millions of people around the world. It was January 15th, 1929, in the hallway outside his bedroom, and Martin Luther King Sr. paced nervously. His family called him Daddy King. Inside the bedroom, his wife was giving birth. Daddy King leaped with joy when he found out that the baby was a boy. No one knew then that this tiny baby would become a great man. The Kings named their son Michael after Daddy King, but a few years later, Daddy King changed both his name and his son's to Martin. Martin's parents gave him a wonderful life. He lived in a comfortable home. He had a younger brother and older sister to play with. And he had loving adults all around him, including his grandparents who lived in the same house. Daddy King was a minister. His sermons and interests in civil rights shaped Martin's beliefs early on. Martin's mother taught him to believe in himself. "You are as good as anyone," she said. In Martin's family, church was important. Once, his father hosted a guest preacher from Virginia. The man talked to folks about joining the church. Martin's sister was the first one to sign up. When he saw her joining, Martin decided to join too. "You're only 5 years old," said the preacher. "I'm not letting my sister get ahead of me," said Martin. Martin's family lived in a 12-room house on Auburn Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia. The house was the center of Martin's universe. In the backyard, he played with neighborhood kids. He roller skated and biked up and down the avenue with his friends. At school, Martin got along with the other children. But there was a school bully. When that bully hit him, Martin refused to fight back. He knew violence was not the answer. Martin's brother was named Alfred Daniel, but everyone called him AD. He and Martin loved to run and play. They played football and baseball, and they played basketball at the fire station near their house. Because of racial segregation, no black men or women worked there, but on the courts, kids of different races played together. Every evening, the Kings sat down to dinner. Martin's father insisted that no one eat until he got home. When Daddy King got home late, the kids were starving, but still they couldn't eat. First, they had to recite a Bible verse. The boys were smart, though. The verse they often picked had just 2 words: "Jesus wept." "It's the shortest verse in the Bible," grinned Martin. Martin was good friends with a boy from the neighborhood. It didn't matter to Martin that the boy was white. One day the boy's father told the boy he could no longer play with Martin. "Why?" asked Martin. Why did his father say we can't play together? Martin's parents decided to talk to him about race and segregation. They told him that black people were often treated terribly. Martin was shocked. He decided he should hate white people. "You should not hate the white man. It's your duty as a Christian to love him," said his parents. Martin had a hard time understanding this. "How can I love people who hate me?" he asked. "You must try," said his mother. "One day I'll change things," said Martin. "I'm going to turn this world upside down." Martin felt angry when he'd experienced discrimination because of the color of his skin. When he was 14, he traveled on a bus with a teacher to a speech contest. On the way home, Martin and his teacher were forced out of their seats so white people could take them. It was a 90-mile trip, and Martin and his teacher had to stand for 3 hours on the bus ride home. Martin later said, "It was the angriest I have ever been in my life." Martin was very smart. He skipped right over 9th and 11th grades, and at the age of 15, he started college. In college, Martin was popular, but he wasn't sure about the rest of his life. He always thought he'd become a minister like his father, but now he began to question his faith. Later, though, he came back to his roots. "I've decided to lead a church," he told his father. By the time Martin was 25 years old, he had earned a doctoral degree. He married Coretta Scott. Like Martin, she believed in the importance of peace. The couple settled in Montgomery, Alabama, and had 4 children. Martin's parents were proud when he became the pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. His father was especially happy. As Martin grew older, he became more active in helping African Americans gain rights. He was chosen to be a spokesperson for the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955. Later, he led nonviolent actions including demonstrations and sit-ins and marches. He always said he would not respond to violence with violence. Martin gave some of the most memorable speeches in American history. In 1963, he gave his famous "I Have a Dream" speech before 200,000 people in Washington, D.C. In his speech, he said, "I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." Throughout his life, Martin King Jr. fought peacefully for civil rights. He also focused on the poor and on world peace. In 1964, he received the Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts. In 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. was shot and killed in Memphis, Tennessee. He was 39. Throughout his life, Martin Luther King Jr. held tight to the traits he developed as a young boy: gentleness, caring, fearlessness, and determination. By staying true to himself, he became a great American leader.